What is up, WandaVision fans? Welcome back to the channel. It's been Agatha all along. I need you guys in the comments down below. How did you feel about this episode? Lots of great Easter eggs and comic book nods. The speculation will continue to build for the next episode. And of course, if you guys enjoy these reviews every single weekend, be sure to drop your thumbs up down below. But let's get right into this. So we had the Office-style 2000s episode, and that intro was on point. It's everything we wanted and needed. The perfect opportunity for John Krasinski to show up. But we already have him. He is playing Jimmy Woo. But the big part of this episode is the reveal of Monica Rambeau going back through the hex, or attempting to one more time, failing, trying again. Try again, kids. And becoming who we know her to be in the comics, and that is essentially a second Captain Marvel. We know she's confirmed for the second film. They're going to explore that relationship, but I was curious, how is she going to get her powers? And the speculation has been that everything inside of the hex is changing the cells or molecular structure of the beings that are stuck or trapped in there. First of all, who is trapping everyone in there? Well, we'll get to that here in just a second. But that was the perfect opportunity to give her powers. But that's not technically what gave her powers. It was going back through that last time. And we see when Wanda picks her up there at the end, she is powerful enough to at least somewhat break free of that. And that is so cool to see. I love this character. I think she is absolutely fantastic, and to see her finally get those powers is super cool. It's setting up for great things in the future, and I really love the way that that played out. I also love utilizing her for somewhat of a helpful figure for Vision to try to figure out, okay, what's going on? Who are you? What happened to me? Figuring out his past along the way. We do get the fun camera angles, the Office-style, Parks and Rec-style camera angles when they're driving around with all the different clowns kind of running around trying to figure out, okay, where are we? How do I get back? We saw Vision at the end finally left, but Wanda's trying every way in the world to keep him away. Or is it Wanda? Is it actually Agnes? Again, we'll get to that. But I think that relationship was super cool. So Darcy is actually in the hexagon right now, completely aware of what's happening. Then we have Captain Rambeau, who's in the hexagon right now, completely aware of what's happening. Wanda, in the meantime, we see at the beginning of the episode, the clip that was released online, the kids, they're just kind of running around, we get the little banter back and forth, but the kids, they're realizing that things are going a bit weird as well. What's going on with Mom? And as soon as Agnes comes in and takes the kids, right, I'm thinking to myself, this is not going to end well for someone, whether it be Wanda, whether it be the kids. And part of me said, there needs to be something to set Wanda off. And we mentioned this last week. What is that going to be? Well, what worse than Vision dying? Again, but what worse than something happening to her kids? Now, is Agatha the only one at play here? I'm not sure, but, we're 7 episodes in, we only have 2 episodes to go. If someone else is at play, I have a feeling they maybe would have already revealed them. We have Hayward, obviously, he's been the big villain thus far, but really we know now that Agnes has been pulling a lot of the strings, as we get with that fun little montage there at the end.
For those of you saying, we need someone here for us. It may look like you can't trust anyone, but I'm here to prove you wrong, one step at a time. An honest law firm, because honesty is important. A lot of people disappeared during the blip. Well, guess what?
I never left.
Burke Law Firm. Oh, snap, he's good.
I just don't know. And I had this conversation on my podcast, Pop Xcast, with my cousin Joseph. We were talking, and the more we talked about Mephisto and the possibility, the opportunity to introduce him, and there's still a very good chance that he or someone like a Nightmare, or, there are multiple possibilities, but they really needed to already kind of, and I guess they've technically introduced a force at play, but now, as far as we know, that force is Agnes. So let's backtrack just a second and talk about some of the interesting and neat Easter eggs within this show. Now, during my reaction, and you'll see it when I release it here in a few hours, they mentioned Nexus, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I've heard Nexus before. It has something to do with multidimensional travel. And then I did a quick search and realized, oh my God, that's what Nexus is. So this is almost confirmation for me that Evan Peters' version of Pietro Was someone kind of pulled from another dimension? Because we saw at the end with the little montage that Agnes was actually controlling him. Okay, how do we get her brother in here? Well, clearly the body's probably decayed by now. Let's just pull one over from another dimension, control him, have him say a few weird things here and there, which is what he has been doing. But we look at what Nexus means in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a cross-dimensional gateway which provides a pathway to any and all possible realities. This includes realities between realities, aka Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It is unknown whether it was created by some being or if it's just one place in the entire multiverse where all realities naturally intersect. If that's not confirmation that he is, at least at his core, the Quicksilver from another universe, and confirmation that Multiverse of Madness is going to be insane, confirmation of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, so on and so forth, and that figure looks to be a Wanda Maximoff, or I guess an Agnes, but kind of a Wanda Maximoff, introducing that concept into the MCU. That was just the commercial we got. But that commercial, every commercial has meant something so far, and I think Nexus is the biggest name, the biggest Easter egg we've seen to confirm the multiverse, the alternate reality theory evidence. That's all we needed was evidence, and we got it. So we have Rambo with superpowers. We have Darcy kind of leading Vision. The last thing we saw from Vision, he kind of flies away. He's like, why is the microphone on me? What are we doing? Who's pulling the strings here? We see again, it's Agnes pulling the strings. And as we have predicted for quite some time, and I won't lie to you, I have been flipping and flopping a little bit. I'm like, is Agatha Harkness, is she really a possibility at this point? Because, you know, Marvel tends to do the bait and switch. They tend to do the thing, introduce a character that we think is one thing, from the comics they are one thing, and then like a Mandarin, or at least that version of the Mandarin, they kind of flip the script, and it's not who we think it's going to be. Well, this is exactly who we thought Agnes was going to be when we first saw the introduction. First of all, I love the fact that it's her as the villain, so I guess she's the main villain at this point. We don't really know what Hayward's up to right now. We know he's still being a little jerk, but we don't exactly know what his role is. But she is just the big bad. She's exactly the big bad. And going down into the basement, okay, where are the kids? They're just playing in the basement. Knowing exactly what she's saying, sending Wanda down into the basement. But Wanda is now fully aware that freaky stuff's happening. We still have the missing kids. We saw the missing kid on the milk carton earlier on in the episode, so my brain still tells me it's Mephisto, since that's a big thing from the comics, missing kids and Mephisto. But right now, as far as we know, it's only Agnes. Who is she working for? Austin, stop speculating. Let's just go off of what we know. And we go back through and we see all of the episodes where she has been doing things. Oh, yeah, and she says, I also killed Sparky. We knew she killed Sparky. There's no way those kids walk over there and she's, oh, look at poor Sparky. Yeah, we know exactly what you're doing, Agatha. So now that everyone's aware, the question is, what is next, right? Is there a showdown, a confrontation between Wanda and Agnes? Are we done with the TV shtick? Because we may just continue with the 2000s thing in the next episode, but I have a feeling we are done now because we now know exactly what this showdown is going to be, but we also have help. It is Wanda, it is Vision, it is Monica Rambeau, we have Darcy in there. We have a lot of characters willing to do what they can to stop this. And Wanda says in the episode, too, she's like, maybe I already am the villain. Now, I think the theory was that she was going to have something happen to her, which may not have happened yet, to lead into Multiverse of Madness, and she will be the villain. But now that we know Agnes is the villain, my question to you all is that what's going to happen, right? Does something happen to Wanda and she turn into the villain? Or are they all going to go against Agatha Harkness as the main baddie? Or is there somebody else at play here? I'm saying Mephisto. No, the Mephisto theory, again, you have to introduce a character like that. At least, 2 more episodes as far as we know. Now, there's rumors that they may have another episode in episode 10 that they're kind of hiding from us. There were also rumors that the final 3 episodes were going to be an hour long. That wasn't the case, clearly. So a lot of elements at play here, but also a lot of Easter eggs. I think that Nexus Easter egg is one of the biggest things we've seen so far because that confirms the multidimensional theory. My question is also, where is Pietro? Is he just frozen in time, like all of the people stuck in there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you like this video and you want more like it every single weekend, be sure to drop your thumbs up down below and your comments. It's 3:45 in the morning, but I love getting up this early and watching WandaVision every single weekend. You're truly the best. Stay tuned. More to come on this channel. Lots of MCU television content. And I'll see you guys soon.